We'll start out with talking a little bit about the Flash. So Camilla had a really rough time last season on the Flash. So she spent some time inside the Mirrorverse with Iris for a while. So how do you think she's changed since being in there?
Yeah, I mean, I think Camilla's changed a lot from being in the Mirrorverse. I think the Mirrorverse was really traumatic to her. Camilla hasn't been around in the Flash for a very long time, so she's never like been to an alternate universe or all these things. So I think it was pretty traumatic for her. The past couple of episodes, she's actually been not appearing because they kind of mentioned that she was dealing with the trauma there by like kind of just being in her art and going back to photography as an art form as opposed to just working at the paper. So I think she's kind of like dealing with a lot of things right now.
Right. Right. She hasn't been in there for a while. And that goes into my next question. So since she hasn't, since we haven't seen her since she came out in the Mirrorverse and she's dealing with all of that, what more can we expect to see in the coming episodes with her character?
Yeah, well, and Camilla will be back. She'll be back very, very soon. And I mean, you can just expect, her to talk about her, time away and kind of like what she's learned over that time. It'll obviously affect her and Cisco's relationship, hopefully in a good way. I don't want to give away any spoilers. And so I think you can just expect like more growth from Camilla and that's all I can say about it. I'm trying not to give anything away.
Yeah, I understand. Since she will be, still working at the paper, of course. So when she comes back to working at the paper, what can you tease about? What she'll be working on with Team Citizen?
Yeah, so Team Citizen, the big bads that we have this season, they actually do get pretty involved with it in the upcoming episodes, and that was really fun to play. And I think you'll get to see Camilla kind of struggle with that because of her time in the Mirrorverse, and how traumatic that was. So to be like right back in the thick of it and being in the danger and stuff, you'll get to see her struggling with that.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. I like that. So how do you think with this role that you've grown as an actor playing Camilla?
Yeah, that's a great question. I definitely feel like I've grown so much as an actor. To be able to join a show in their fifth season that's already so successful with these actors who are so talented, I feel like it's kind of been like a masterclass in acting. I've gotten to learn from my castmates of just seeing how dedicated they are to their roles and how talented they are and just the work they put into everything. I've learned a lot from them. And so I think that has helped me grow as an actor, just being on the show for the past 3 years.
So you got to work with Candice Patton a lot while you were in the Mirrorverse. So can you talk about working with Candice Patton and exploring that growing friendship and bond between Camilla and Iris while they were inside of the Mirrorverse?
Yeah, for sure. I love Candice. She's great. I love that we got to, grow our personal friendship while the characters are pursuing their friendship. I feel like this is kind of the first time on The Flash that we've really seen a female friendship really developed. And so I'm really, really grateful that I got to be a part of that and portraying that on screen. And working with Candice is great. She's so funny and she's so real. And we have some really good talks while we're, having downtime on set. So she's great.
Yeah, that's good. I really enjoyed being able to see that friendship on the show develop and stuff. And like you said, y'all, hasn't really been one that we've seen to grow that way. So that was really good.
Yeah.
And then you got to play different sides of Camilla last season with her being in the Mirrorverse. So you got to play a little bit of her mirror version, which was a little bit evil. So how fun was it to play a little bit of the evil role of Camilla?
Oh, it's so fun. I personally love playing villains. So I even wanted to take it further. Like I was like, oh, can like we make her super evil and stuff? And they were like, no, because she's supposed to still be fooling Cisco into thinking that like she's the real Camilla. So I was like, oh man. But we got to have a lot of fun with like wardrobe. Like I don't know if people noticed, but like we chose like she was only wearing dark colors and only wearing black, and like Camilla never wears black ever. So it was really fun to be able to play with it in other ways. But yeah, I wish that we could have taken a little further, but it was really fun to explore like a different version of Camilla that we normally don't get to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I really like seeing like the different sides, especially with us being able to see the mirror version. So I really like being able to see that.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about how the relationship between her and Cisco was gonna be able to be seen. So we love seeing Camilla and Cisco's relationship. So is it gonna be smooth sailing for them this season, or will we be able to see them, test the waters a little bit? Will things get a little rocky?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, things are never easygoing in Central City. So there's definitely going to be like some external challenges. But Camilla and Cisco have always been strong, and they continue to be strong. So they'll take those punches as they come, and I have confidence that they'll be able to weather any storm.
Good, good. Like to hear that. So, oh, sorry. So, the show Kung Fu just started airing on the CW, and the Shang-Chi teaser trailer just premiered and everything. So how do you think shows and movies like this will move the industry forward when it comes to having Asian American leads in Asian Americans in lead roles?
Yeah, for sure. And Asian Canadian, because Simu's Canadian.
Oh, yes.
He actually corrected me on that. I was like, yeah, Asian Americans. He's like, and Canadian. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
right. I always forget. But yeah, I mean, I'm so excited. Kung Fu has been doing so well. And Olivia's awesome. And, the Asian actor community is actually really small. So we all know each other, or at least have 1 degree of separation away from each other. So it's just on a personal note, so exciting to see people who I know and love, getting opportunities to be the lead of their own story. But I think as a movement and, as a community, it's super exciting for us because it's been, a really long time coming. And I feel like we're starting to feel hope, like finally we're starting to see more than just one story a year. This year with the Oscars, there are so many amazing, actors and directors and producers who are nominated for Academy Awards who are Asian. And it's just a really exciting time. And I'm really excited and feel very blessed to be a part of it. Representing Asians on my show. I think I'm probably the only Asian character right now. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I'm excited to see Shang-Chi. I'm excited for Kung Fu to continue. It's been a great show so far, and
Yes.
It's a really exciting time.
I'm really excited to see those, and I've been enjoying Kung Fu as well. So,
Yeah.
And then what other ways would you like to see Asian representation in movies and on television shows?
Yeah, I mean, with both Kung Fu and with Shang-Chi, there's a lot of like action and kind of superhero-esque vibes. So I would love to see just like more stories that have, Asian women at the lead that aren't necessarily like, fighting shows or like superhero shows, just something where it can feel a little more relatable to people like me who are just normal and not fighters and not superheroes. There are so many stories that we can tell. And so I just hope that we don't get like pigeonholed into one specific,
right.
Either just the immigrant story or just the superhero or just the Kung Fu story. There's so many stories that we can tell. So I hope that I get to be a part of that too.
Yeah, I hope that you do as well, because I would love to see that. And then, so you have a YouTube channel, and I've watched a few of your videos, so I really enjoyed that. But you have a YouTube channel that displays different kinds of content. So what new videos do you have planned to show?
Oh man, I don't know. I kind of just like if I have time and the energy to do it, I kind of just think of whatever's fun. So I haven't really been thinking about my YouTube in a while. I probably should. I fell behind a little bit when I had to go back to work.
Yeah.
It was too difficult. I do have a behind the scenes video of the Flash that I'm waiting to put out because it has to go up after the episode is aired
Right.
because there's a ton of spoilers in it. So I do have that kind of sitting and waiting, and I'm sure the Flash fans will be excited to see that. At least I hope they will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something to look forward to. I'll definitely be excited to see that. So
Great.
um and then what do you have any new projects in the works, or are there any other areas of entertainment that you plan on exploring?
Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, was it already a couple of years ago? I think it was like end of 2019. I directed a short film. It was my first film that I directed, and it was super, super great experience. Ended up premiering at the Vancouver Asian Film Festival, which was exciting because I was in Vancouver at the time for work. And so I've really want to continue with directing. And so I'm currently in very early pre-production for a documentary that I'm going to be directing this year. So I'm excited to kind of speak more about that as it gets underway. But hopefully we'll be able to film it this year so I can talk about it then.
And then for our last question, what would you just like to say to, your fans and people who watch your work and who are fans of your work?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thanks, I guess. It's so humbling to, have people know my work and watch it and love it. And I've been so fortunate that all of the fans have been very kind and very just supportive of me. So it's been so fun getting to know people on social media. And I hope that you guys continue to say hi and we can, have a lifelong relationship.